Hello, welcome in. So today we're going to talk about the number one mistake that academic entrepreneurs are making and why it's called binge working, by the way, and why binge working is killing your business momentum. So if you haven't met me yet, I'm Dr. Toyin Ali, and I help academics build semester-proof businesses. That's what I call it. And these are businesses that grow without overwhelming your academic life. So today we're going to talk about something that I know many of us are guilty of, including myself, and that thing is binge working on our businesses. So if you have ever had like a burst of energy and you're like, oh my goodness, I need to do this thing in my business, I'm super excited about it, and you get everything done, but then you end up ghosting your business for like weeks. So if that's something you've ever done, let me know in the comments or in the chat because it's something I've done many times. So one of the big problems that's happening is the binge working effect. And so what I mean by binge working is that you get super inspired to work on your business and you go all in for maybe a weekend or maybe even a week. But then after that, academic life starts to come back to reality for you. And so you disappear from your business. It's like your business is hot one week and then cold probably the next couple of months. And so it makes a lot of sense that this is a big issue for academics because we are so used to project-based work. We work on papers. That's a project that you complete. We work on courses. We do grading marathons, right? Where I have a 3-hour block of time to get all the grading done. However, businesses don't thrive that way. And binge working, it's for projects. And there are projects in your business that has to get done. In fact, academics are so great at getting projects done in our businesses. I don't know if you've ever been in like a group coaching program or in a course where the instructor or the coach is instructing everyone to work on this project and people procrastinate and they have trouble getting it done. Meanwhile, all the academics in the group who have businesses, they're like, oh yeah, I did that last week. Like, give me a project, I will break it down into steps and I will get it done. Binge working is great for that, great for projects. However, binge working is not great for business operations, which is what you actually need to run your business. So I do have a question for you that I've set up in advance. I would love to know, how often are you working on your business just when you have energy? So like when you're feeling like I'm in it, I'm ready to work on my business, you work on your business, and not because you've actually created a plan and it's part of your business operations. If you've experienced that, let me know. Okay, so let me share a bit about my business experience. So when I first started my business back in 2017, this was me. I would redesign my website because I'm like not a designer. So of course I wouldn't be quite satisfied with what my website would look like, but I also didn't want to hire someone to design my website because I didn't know if this business would be a thing. I would be so excited, like, oh my goodness, I have this idea. Grad students are struggling with this thing. I need to write these blog posts. So I'll write like 5 blog posts. And then I would just disappear. Like literally the way I would change my brand every other week, like my brand colors and things like that, or spend 2 hours trying to make a carousel. And then because it took so long, I burn out and I'm like, I never want to do that again. Or learn about a new business strategy. And so then I dive into a 6-week course on this strategy and work on the projects in there. And like my business is on hold while I'm doing that. So when I first started my business, I was treating it like it was a hobby. And therefore, it was making a hobby level income, aka $0. So what changed? Okay, so how did I go from like binge working my business to actually operating my business and having regular operations that I do, but that don't take a lot of time? Well, I actually started thinking like a CEO because that is what you are. You are the CEO of your business. I started shifting from when I feel like it to actually building weekly systems that maintain the momentum on just 5 hours a week. So I would do the same couple of things in my business every single week that would move the business forward. So when you're binge working, it feels super productive because you're getting things done. However, you are losing out on other things. So one of the things you lose out on when you're binge working is time. And you're losing out on time because you're always like restarting. So when people talk about how you shouldn't multitask because or get distracted while you're working, because when you're working on something and then you get distracted or start working on something else, when you come back to that first thing, it takes a long time to get back into it and remember what train of thought you were on. And it's almost like you're starting that project over again. So you're losing time from that restarting. You're also losing energy because you're having to relearn what you've already built. You have to remember, wait, how do I write a blog post again? Oh, wait, where do I go to get a link to book a call on my calendar? Or how do I do this thing? Where is that link? Where is that file on my computer? That takes energy trying to do all of that fresh every single time. It costs you money as well because when you're working on these projects, often these projects aren't profitable. They're not immediately bringing revenue into the business. So there's no consistent path to sales. And then you're also losing out on momentum. This may be the biggest thing you're losing out on because you only show up every couple of months or you're all in for 2 weeks and then everyone's like, where'd you go? So therefore, no one knows what you offer. You may not even be offering what you offer. And no one knows when you'll show up again. And people don't like to hire people who are inconsistent. So you didn't start your business just to do more work, right? That is the opposite of why you wanted to create a business. It's not the more work that you were attracted to, right? You wanted to start your business alongside your academic career for more freedom. You don't want to solely depend on that academic job. You want it for more flexibility, right? You can afford to maybe not teach in the summer or take a semester off or things like that. You wanted more income because maybe you love your job like me, but the salary is not matching what your hopes and dreams that you had for your life. And most importantly, you wanted to make impact. So if you are not doing the things that move your business forward and getting new clients and customers and students into your business, you're not actually making the impact that you set out to do. So here is what you need to start doing. So instead of thinking about projects and hustling to get this project done as quickly as possible, start thinking about creating a sustainable rhythm that fits into your academic life. So for example, in my semester-proof business framework, and that's what I call the sustainable rhythm, I call it the semester-proof business framework. In that framework, I teach you how to set up simple systems that let your business grow even when you're grading midterms or prepping for a conference. So it's not always, I got to do this big project all of the time. Your business is kind of working on its own until you're ready to come back and do more. So in my business, I may post a video that lives on for years and makes me sales even years later, right? So it's this project that I did, but because I have the system set up, it still incurs income years later. Or maybe I'll send an email, and because of that email, I will enroll new members into my community. And this happens because I've nurtured my audience consistently, but without having to do it manually. I'm not on the internet posting every single day, doing all of the things. I'm not that consistent. I would love to be that consistent, but I'm not. However, I've set up systems in my business that helps me to show up consistently for my audience. So they see me as being consistent when I'm not manually being consistent on my own. So what I end up doing week to week in my 5 hours a week that I work on my business, I'm just doing the things that feed into that system, right? I'm adding more to go into that system that works on its own and then brings in the sales. So I don't do more. I just do the right things. And those right things, those are the things that I do consistently. So when I made the shift from binge working on my business to creating a rhythm, a sustainable rhythm that I can do within 5 hours a week, I finally designed a course that I was proud of and enrolled people in it. I even had successes in my academic work because that energy kind of just feeds itself, right? I'm excited about what I'm doing in my business and I bring that energy into my academic work as well. So I won 2 teaching awards. I got promoted a full year early and my business revenue matched my faculty salary. And in fact, now my business revenue has far surpassed my faculty salary. And I'm able to do all of this while working on my business for under 5 hours a week. So if you're like, okay, I've been doing the binge working thing and it's becoming exhausting and I'm like frustrated with the lack of momentum. So if you're tired of like the starting and the stopping or just wondering why your business isn't growing, don't worry, you're not the problem. It's not you at all. You are more than capable of growing and running a business. It's just the lack of systems, right? You need the systems to be able to sustain your business and make your business consistent when you are in the ebbs and flows of academia. So that's what I do. I help you fix that. So I have created a course called the Semester Proof Business Course. And inside of that, you get my full Semester Proof Business framework so that you can set up your sustainable rhythm. And you also get a one-on-one call with me to map it out to your exact life and your schedule. So you can see the link on the screen. It's drtoyanali.com/course. And enroll in that course so that this or even next semester, but actually this semester, let this semester be the semester where you stop starting over, right? And I'm going to see if I can put this in the chat as well so that it's actually a clickable link for you all. But again, just to remind you, you're not doing anything wrong, right? You've just been doing it the hard way. And the hard way is not necessarily the wrong way. I just want to be able to show you how simple and how sustainable your business can be. So if you have any questions about the Semester Proof Business course or just business in general, or if you want to chat more, just leave your questions below or send me a DM so we can chat about it. And if you're watching the replay, go ahead and hit subscribe on my YouTube channel so that you don't miss the next video. That is all that I wanted to share today. Thank you so much for watching and hanging out with me, and I will see you in the next one.